Hello, welcome to the Political Vigilante on the road. I'm Graham Elwood, and I'm working in Appleton, Wisconsin, and this is the lovely apartment that they put the comedians in, called the Comedy Condo. So we're doing it roadshow style. Not the greatest lighting, but there's a little blue light there. That's from the wireless router, so that's kind of like the blue light on the Dark Knight photo in my apartment. That's not a map of the world. These are comedy albums. Isn't that neat? Okay, so today I want to go over, there was an article in the Wednesday, March 16th issue of USA Today entitled Military Leaders Line Up Against Firearms Bill, and it is written by Nicole Gordino. I'm sure you've been hearing a lot about this. If you haven't, it's called the Veterans Second Amendment Protection Act. And what this is this would prevent the Department of Veteran Affairs from releasing information about a military vet having any sort of mental illness or battling PTSD or anything like that, that then when they do background checks on buying a gun, they can see that and go, oh, you're not fit to own a firearm. And a bunch of ex-military and current military people, including David Petraeus and a bunch of others, are like, this bill is a bad idea because there's a lot of vets that came back from Iraq and Afghanistan with serious PTSD. So much so that 20 suicides a day. 2/3 of those are done with a gun. And some of the other ones are done like suicide by cop. Because obviously military people know how to use weapons, typically own them, and putting them in the hands of someone that's struggling from severe PTSD. And sometimes there's a combination of they have a traumatic brain injury and PTSD, so it's really hard, and some of them can't function. The reason I don't own a gun, I've struggled with depression and anger most of my life. And I had a little PTSD from going over there as a fucking comedian, and I'm like, I don't want to own a gun because I probably would have blown my head off already. And now you want to do this? It's so irresponsible. And the organizations and stuff that are against this bill are all like veterans and military organizations. They're like, this is an awful idea. And the NRA doesn't give a shit. Let's be real fucking clear here. The NRA is not about protecting your Second Amendment rights. They used to be about conservation and all different kinds of things. And then the entire board in the last 30 years has been hijacked by the gun industry. The NRA is now just an arm of the gun lobby. And what are they crying about? Slippery slope, and if you take the vets' guns away, oh, shut up. 8 years of fucking Obama. 8 years. Nobody took your goddamn gun. And if you're a pro-gun person and you want to post a bunch of comments below, go for it. I've heard all of your fucking arguments. I know every single one of your talking points, all right? Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Really? If I got a fistful... Will Anderson, a comedian from Australia, said this to me. This is his joke, and it's a fantastic one. If I have a fistful of bullets in a tennis racket and I want to go to a grade school, how much damage can I do? Well, cars kill people. Should we outlaw cars? Cars are designed for transportation. Accidents are a unfortunate thing that can happen with a car. A gun is designed for one thing only, to shoot a projectile at the speed of sound and go through and destroy whatever it hits. That's it. It's ridiculous. No one's taking your goddamn guns away. This is just irresponsible. The NRA just cares about gun profits. You know, every time there's a mass shooting, gun sales go up. Gun sales go up. And they prey on that. Uh-oh, they're going to come take your guns. They prey on that thing. So they play the same bullshit, slippery slope nonsense, and they don't give a fuck that 20 veterans a day kill themselves. Every day. Today, the day that you're watching this, guess what? 20 vets will kill themselves by the end of this day. Does that make you feel good? Should we give them someone that's struggling with PTSD because of the awful shit they saw in a war zone? Should we give that guy or girl a gun? Is that cool? Are we being good Americans? Fuck no, we're not being a good American. I'm so sick of this flag-waving bullshit. Your fucking American Eagle hat, and you're making it extremely easy for a vet that's struggling with the worst thing to take their own life. Congratulations, motherfucker, and your bullshit flag-waving nonsense. Fuck your jingoistic crap. It's all about profit. The gun lobby doesn't give a fuck about America or the Constitution. They care about their billions of dollars of profits. That's all the fuck they care about. All I talk about on this show is follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Follow it right through to Smith & Wesson, to the NRA, to who lobbies Congress and the Senate. Makes me so fucking mad. And don't tell me I'm a bad American because I don't want it to be easy for someone to blow their fucking head off. Fuck you. A coalition of retired admirals and generals. Oh, not tree-hugging hippies. Including former CIA director and retired Army General David Petraeus, are protesting irresponsible and dangerous legislation they say would put mentally ill veterans in harm's way by giving them easy access to firearms. Oh, so it's not just some crybaby liberal comedian, it's actual fucking soldiers saying this? Weird. Weird, you fuckhead NRA assholes. In a letter Tuesday, members of the Veterans Coalition for Common Sense urged House and Senate leaders to oppose the bill. The House is expected to take it up Thursday. This makes me so mad. This makes me so mad, and I'm so sick of this. Quote, the bill you are debating comes at a time when an average of 20 veterans commit suicide each day, 2/3 of whom do so by using a firearm. We know that non-deployed veterans are a 61% higher risk of suicide compared to the American civilian population. And deployed veterans are at a 41% higher risk, they wrote. Anytime you ever saw any non-combat deaths, when they reported the deaths from Iraq and Afghanistan, and they still do, non-combat deaths, more than likely that's a suicide. Because if it's friendly fire, that's still a combat-related death that happened under friendly fire. A non-combat-related death is the military's way of saying this soldier or Marine or airman or sailor blew their fucking head off with their weapon. When vulnerable veterans have access to firearms, I had an uncle that fought in World War II in Korea. Never met the guy because he came back a changed man, everybody said, and he killed himself. And I've met a lot of vets, and I've heard about too many of them taking their own life. So like, Chris Cox is a lobbyist for the NRA, and he said in a statement, receiving assistance to handle personal finances does not mean an individual is unable to safely own a firearm. Hey, Chris, go fuck yourself, man. You ever struggled paying your bills and you have PTSD? You might want to put a fucking bullet through your head because you don't see much of a reason for living. Fuck you, Chris Cox. Fuck you and everybody at the NRA. Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't like me? Let's meet. I'll show up without a gun and we can kind of talk face to face, man to man. And you can tell me about how great it is for someone with PTSD to have a gun. I'll bring a list of all the soldiers and Marines and stuff who've blown their fucking heads off. And you tell me you want to put a gun in their hands. And I'll bring their family members. Does that sound cool?